Grab your paint pot and brush and jump up the ladder. Dunk your brush in, and now let's smash this out. If you have cornices, these are part of the ceiling too and need to be painted the same colour. Always starting in a corner, brush your paint onto the ceiling. Seeing that we're only painting the ceiling and not the walls, be super careful not to flick around too much paint. More than likely, you'll get a few spots of ceiling paint on your walls. You don't want that. Anyway, slap on some paint starting on the ceiling itself. Make your way down onto the cornice. Now, when you reach the bottom edge, don't tell anyone, but we can take a shortcut here. This will save you a ton of time. If you're repainting the ceiling with the same colour and it's in fairly good condition under this edge, you can forget about painting the bottom lip. This will certainly speed things up. But if you want to stick to the painter's code, or if you're changing colours, you will need to paint this. But this will be one of the hardest things you will ever paint. Very important. Before you paint the bottom of the edge, do not try to cut directly to the edge. There is more than likely way too much paint on that brush for that. You'll end up with a fat edge and that'll run down your wall, and that's no good. And again, we don't want that. With a semi-dry brush, starting in the very corner of the ceiling, wiggle your brush tips to meet the cornice edge. Now with only the very tips, glide your brush along the edge. As you move your brush along, it picks up the paint you laid down earlier and evenly spreads the paint to the edge. Just move slowly at first. If you find your brush is picking up too much paint and forming a flat edge, move your brush away from the edge and slap away the paint onto the ceiling and start again from where you left off. Keep painting along the edge with your brush tips until you run out of paint. Now that you have a dry brush again, run your brush over the whole lot again to get rid of all those lines from start to finish. This is called laying off with the brush. This evenly spreads out the paint and makes it look like you've painted your edge in one long brush stroke. If it looks like there's still too much paint up there and it appears ropey, wipe out your brush on the edge of your paint pot, and now with a dry brush, have a go at picking up some of that extra unwanted paint off the ceiling with another long brush stroke. Then lastly, feather out the outer side of your paint edge. Doing this will help blend in the brush marks when it's time to roll. Jump down your ladder, move along and repeat all the steps again until you make it all the way around the room. Use the same method to cut in your ceiling lights, smoke alarms and ceiling vents. Remember to start off slow and steady to keep a good line. With time and practice, you will gain speed and control. And there you have it. The ceilings and cornices are all cut in. It couldn't be easier.